Hello friends, let us now learn about some important points about acute tonsillitis. So, in acute tonsillitis, this acute tonsillitis is most common in school growing children than in adults. Then here this is mainly due to the viral infections, like it is caused by adenovirus, it can be caused by Epstein-Barr virus followed by influenza or para-influenza, or it is caused by enterovirus. So it is caused by viral infection, that is adenovirus followed by Epstein-Barr virus followed by influenza virus or para-influenza virus and enterovirus. Then it can also be caused by bacterial infections, like most common bacteria involved is group A beta hemolytic streptococci. Group A beta hemolytic streptococci is most commonly involved. The others which can also be involved are staphylococcus or Haemophilus and pneumococcus are also involved in acute tonsillitis. Now, if you see the types, there are 4 different types of acute tonsillitis. The first type of acute tonsillitis is acute catarrhal tonsillitis or superficial tonsillitis. In this acute catarrhal or superficial tonsillitis, only the mucosa is involved. Only the mucosa of it is involved, but not the underlying deeper layers. Mainly the mucosa is involved in acute catarrhal or superficial tonsillitis. It is actually by a viral infection only. Then we have acute follicular tonsillitis. In follicular tonsillitis, here the infection spreads through the crypts. Here the infection spreads through the crypts and infects the crypts. So once it infects the crypts are filled with the purulent material. It will spread through the crypts like this and it will infect these crypts. And now these crypts are filled with the purulent material. So you will see presence of some yellowish spots are seen in the tonsil. So this is acute follicular tonsillitis. Then we have membranous tonsillitis. In membranous tonsillitis, these all the crypts which are present in the membrane, see these are the crypts. So all the crypts are filled with pus. Okay, the pus or exudation which is coming out from the crypts, this will now form a membrane, and this is called as acute membranous tonsillitis. Then we have acute parenchymatous tonsillitis. In acute parenchymatous tonsillitis, the tonsil is affected and the tonsil appears uniformly enlarged. It is actually swollen and uniformly enlarged in acute parenchymatous tonsillitis. Okay, in a patient with tonsillitis, the child presents with fever, high-grade fever with headache, malaise. In the acute phase, the child will have sore throat, and he also has difficulty in swallowing, foul breath and coated tongue. Earache will also be seen. If you see signs will depend upon the type of the tonsil. But overall, there will be inflamed tonsils. If it is follicular, you can see this yellowish spots on the tonsil. If it is membranous, you can see the membrane which is present on the tonsil. If it is parenchymatous, you will see swollen, enlarged tonsil. But whatever it is, you will see inflamed tonsils with pillars, and soft palate and uvula are also inflamed. And also one more thing which you see is, you will see enlargement of bilateral jugulo-digastric. You will see enlargement of bilateral jugulo-digastric lymph nodes are enlarged. You will see enlargement of bilateral jugulo-digastric lymph nodes are actually enlarged and they are tender. Okay, then how are you going to diagnose it? Diagnosis is, if you squeeze these crypts, on squeezing these crypts, you will see that the pus expresses out of it. When the pus expresses out of it on squeezing these crypts, then obviously it is acute tonsillitis. Okay, now treatment is number 1. You should, because it is acute conditions, you should not do tonsillectomy in acute conditions. So you should give antibiotics to the patient. So in the antibiotics, drug of choice of acute tonsillitis is, you give amoxicillin is given to the patient, and you can also give crystalline penicillin can also be given to the patient and it is given for 7 to 10 days. Now, one important information about the tonsillitis is hypertrophy, tonsillar hypertrophy. There are tonsillar hypertrophy, there are gradings. So we have 1 plus. If this is the oral cavity, here you will see tonsillar hypertrophy. If the hypertrophy is up to 25% of projection, this is the nose, okay, this is the mouth, okay, like this, okay. There will be a little dot in the tongue like this, and here you will see uvula. Okay, here you will see tonsils, right? Now the tonsillar hypertrophy based on how large these tonsils become. If they become 1 plus, then that means up to 25% projection is seen of the tonsils. Then if it is 2 plus, that means 25 to 50% of projection of tonsils is seen. If it is 3 plus, then 50 to 75% of projection is seen. If it is 4 plus, more than 75% of projection is seen of tonsillar hypertrophy. Now, this is about the tonsillitis. Okay, then what are the complications of tonsillitis? So if you see the complications, the patient develops because of the tonsillitis, there will be compression of the eustachian tube, and thus the child will develop infection otitis media, acute otitis media. This tonsils will also the infection from the oral cavity through the eustachian tube, it goes to the ear and it causes middle ear infection, causing acute otitis media. It also causes rheumatic fever, and it also causes scarlet fever. It causes rheumatic fever and scarlet fever also, and it can cause abscesses. The abscess can be found around the tonsil, then it is called as peritonsillar abscess or parapharyngeal abscess. It can also cause cervical abscess also. Then or else that tonsillitis can progress to chronic tonsillitis, or it can also progress to chronic adenotonsillar hypertrophy. Then you can also see presence of glomerulonephritis, and there can be subacute bacterial endocarditis, and the patient can also develop sinusitis. So all these are the actual complications of tonsillitis. Now, what is important here is the differential diagnosis of membrane over the tonsil. So membrane on the tonsil. So if this is the tonsil, what are the different conditions where you see membrane under the membrane over the tonsil? The differential diagnosis of membrane over the tonsil is first trauma or tumor of the tonsils, and if there is aphthous ulcers and infections like candidial infection or diphtheриal infection, or if there is tonsillitis, membranous tonsillitis in Vincent's angina, or in infectious mononucleosis, agranulocytosis, and leukemia. In all these conditions, we see membrane over the tonsils. What are the differential diagnoses? In trauma, tumor of the tonsils. Trauma, tumor of the tonsils. Then we have aphthous ulcers, candidial infection, moniliasis. Then we have diphtheria, tonsillitis, that is membranous tonsillitis in Vincent's angina, and fusiform bacteria and Borrelia vincenti in infectious mononucleosis, and in agranulocytosis and leukemia, you see membrane over the tonsil. Then the most important thing about we have to learn the next important disease, which is chronic tonsillitis. So what is chronic tonsillitis? In chronic tonsillitis, there is chronic inflammation of the palatine tonsil. This occurs when there are repeated acute inflammations of acute tonsillitis. If this becomes repeated, then you see that the patient develops chronic tonsillitis. So in this chronic tonsillitis, the patient will develop sore throat, and this sore throat also he develops repeated attacks of sore throat, that 3 to 4 times in a year, with bad taste in the mouth and difficulty in swallowing is seen. There are 4 cardinal signs of chronic tonsillitis which are important. The 4 cardinal signs of chronic tonsillitis are: number 1, presence of congestion in the anterior pillar. So if there will be congestion will be seen in the anterior pillar, that is one cardinal sign. Okay, then there is one more sign which is called as Erwin-Moore sign. What is Erwin-Moore sign? In Erwin-Moore sign, if a tongue depressor is placed on the anterior pillar, if this is the anterior pillar, right? If you place a tongue depressor like this over the anterior pillar, then and press it against the tonsil. If you take a tongue depressor like this and press it against the tonsil, then you will see that a cheesy colored pussy material coming out of the crypts. So this is next. That is the second criteria, which is called as Erwin-Moore sign. Third criteria is you will see presence of bilateral non-tender jugulodigastric lymph nodes should be present. And fourth, obviously there should be enlarged tonsils should be seen. So these are the main criteria of or main four cardinal signs of chronic tonsillitis. What are they? Persistent congestion of the anterior pillar, Erwin-Moore sign, a tongue depressor is placed on the anterior pillar and pressed against the tonsil, and then yellowish cheesy discharge escaping out from the crypts is seen. And next, non-tender enlarged lymph node, jugulodigastric lymph nodes and enlarged tonsils are seen. Next, the next important thing is about the tonsillectomy, which we will learn in the next class. Thank you.